So hi guys, I am out at the farm today where this guy, Malibu Compost, is produced, and I have a very close dear friend of many years, Randy Ritchie. Thank you, Randy. I love you, brother, so much.
I love you too, Carl.
And you know that. I thought it'd be important to bring you to the farm. Many of you are familiar with the compost, the tea bags, his soil, the seed starter soil. But it's so important to go to the source, to really understand what it's all about, where it originates, and just break down the information for you. So, Randy, I gotta ask you, what gave you a passion to get into this, and how long have you been doing it?
Okay, well, guys, welcome to New Boo Farm. This is the second Boo Farm in Oregon, and we started this farm about 2 years ago, and it is just it's a slice of heaven with cow poop. So I was a landscape designer and builder, and back in the late 80s, I had a bunch of customers that all wanted they all wanted natural. It was before organic was a thing in America. It was becoming a thing in Europe, and I was starting to look for really good soil, and I couldn't find it. And so I went on this search. I'm searching. And if you see these little things blowing away, we have cottonwood trees that are letting their seed go. It looks like snow. It's pretty cool.
Right.
I went on a search, and I couldn't find anything besides this crummy old soil yard soil that was pretty lifeless. And at that point in time, there's a guy named Alan York who was a great vintner and a great soil guy. He was, a lot of people know him now because he was in that movie, The Biggest Little Farm. He taught those guys, so I think that they met us guys. They bought our stuff, and then I think they sought after Alan York. Alan helped them with their soil fertility program for their farm down in Southern California, in Ventura County where I live. And they have a cool little farm, and really did a lot of work with compost teas to inoculate the soil and get the soil ready for planting. And so for me, Alan introduced me to a biodynamic farmer in the Central Valley. Learned about making compost there with them, and then got really into making compost, and ultimately ended up selling the landscape company and starting Malibu Compost, and just being interested in biological farming and biological gardening, and looking at how everything relates to microbes and the microbiome, and how that works in the soil, in our guts, in our bodies, how it's all interlinked, and it's been a great journey. It's been a very unique journey. The story of Boo has been a real unique journey.
How many years now?
We're going on 13.
13 years.
So, 07, 08, 09 is when we incorporated, and we had compost down, and we were designing our bag and Surfing Cow logo, and we were already making compost because I was using it on my landscape jobs, and I was kind of at the very end of my landscape career, which was really fun. It just got, I had to make a choice, I had to pick. And also, we hit that time where we're at that time again too. I follow the markets really closely. When we had the mortgage crisis, people that were my clients down in Southern California were having a really bad time, and were losing their homes, and they had taken seconds and on their houses, and then the banks would pull back on the second. People were losing their jobs. So my landscape business, which was a very high-end business, was on shaky ground. And so I had already started turning our company more ecological, and started turning our company into, if we're going to build a landscape for you, we're also going to grow food for you, and we're going to put an orchard in, and we're going to do all these kinds of things where we grew food in the landscapes, which back in the late 80s and early 90s was very unique, and then moving into the early 2000s. And at that point, we finally had organic standards starting in America. They started in the early 2000s. And we had been using our compost on our jobs, and other landscapers were buying it from us. And we decided to put it in a bag and just go for it. And people said, the economy sucks. You guys are insane. You're gonna lose your shirt. I'm like, hey man, I'm already losing my shirt in the landscape business with my customers right now anyway. So what do I have to lose? So I just went with my passion and my instinct and my gut, which was just do the right thing and the right thing will happen. And it was the right time for me to sell the landscape company off, get into this full time, and really become a really good compost maker and a good farmer. Grow lots of good food, grow great orchards, help people out, whatever they're growing, help them with their soil biology. And so, 13 years later, here we are coming into another cycle, economic cycle, that is really scary. For people that are saying like, oh, we're not in a recession yet, I'm sorry guys, we are. The PPI, the Producers Price Index, is at 11%. I can tell you a lot of our costs are up 18%. So it's there, it's here. We're gonna hit another negative, probably, in terms of our economic reporting for the country, soon. That'll be out. And, there's no better time than to get your hands dirty, get in the garden, grow food, do stuff that you can do that you can have some control over. A level of participation, with the soil, with the biology, with your seeds, with your plants, at a time where, people are freaking, hey, I'm eating as much out of my own garden as I can. My wife called me today and said, hey, we've got peaches on the new peach trees that we planted last year, that from incredible bare rootstock. And to me, I'm excited about that. For me, hearing that is like, for Elon Musk, it's buying, Twitter. For me, it's, hey, you got peaches.
So with that said, that's your teaser. We kind of got a premise of how this is all put together. But we're going to go deeper, find out how this is made, what it's about, how it's tested, and what biodynamics really mean. So watch our following videos. You'll be glad you did. And Randy, thanks for that intro. So we're going to see you on our next video very soon. Thanks for watching.